Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be taking a look at a specific product that was actually sent to me by a company, and I was actually pretty excited about it because I've used products like this before and owned several, just never the specific brand, and I really love them and I know they're very useful. So this was kind of a big deal. So we're going to be looking at a 10-liter dry bag by a company called EarthPak, and I'd never even heard of this company before. It was brand new to me, and I had just gotten a message on YouTube, a personal message, asking if I wanted to review this. And I've had just a few other companies, probably like two, asked me to do stuff like this before, and one of them ended up turning out to be a complete scam that I'm lucky to never have gotten involved in. I just heard from advice from friends and everything that had told me, and the other one I just never heard back from. So I was a little bit weary of doing this, but just got to talking and found out a little bit more about the company. And the gentleman I was talking to, his name was Scott, and he ended up just saying, man, instead of you giving me your personal information to have me ship one out to you for free, how about I just give you 100% off coupon code for Amazon, and you can pair it with something else that you might were wanting off Amazon or whatever, and just have it mailed, from Amazon. So that made me feel a lot better, and so I did it. And yeah, I've definitely, I've already opened it and taken a look at it, but I just kind of wanted to go over it a little bit. This is the EarthPak 10-liter dry bag. It'll come just like this, and when you open it, now there's going to be some plastic and stuff that I've already taken off, but you'll have a note and a dry bag and your shoulder strap. So the note was actually pretty cool. It just tells you, thank you for purchasing this. We're not a big business. In fact, we're proud to be a small family-owned business right here in the USA. We believe this is the #1 dry bag on the market, and feel free to email us. Scott gives you his email at earthpak.com and tells you, sincerely yours, Scott Prentice. So whether that means something to you or not, it does to me, and that was something that that I enjoyed, was that there is a letter in there, and he does give you information to contact him, and he does even go as far as to suggest reviewing it and all that. So I'm assuming, Scott, you saw one of my videos or kayak videos or something, and that's why you felt inclined to reach out to me. But I greatly appreciate it. I can already tell you this is a really good dry bag. So it is a heavy material. I mean, really nice and heavy. It's almost like rubber. The thing that I could compare the material to would be the Sewn dry bags, and those have been around for a long time. That's kind of the staple in the industry. Everyone knows and has heard of Sewn dry bags. We have some at work and use those, and they work great. So right off the bat, the feel of this has that feel. So that is impressive to me. All the stitching is really nice, really well sewn, and it comes with a shoulder strap. That's something that I really like. The buckles are heavier than your cheap plastic ones. It takes a little bit of effort to snap them in. That's good. And the other thing that I noticed about this compared to some of the other dry bags I've seen is this actually has a piece of nylon webbing that is folded under itself and box stitched on both sides, with the D-ring in the middle and box stitched down the center. So I don't know how well that's translating to camera. I'm just trying to go over this stuff real quick because we're actually about to go out in the woods next to the river and put this to the test. So it does have a really well made center seam down the middle. It's actually looks like it's double stamped. It's seamed here on the inside, and then it's seamed here on the outside. And these ridges here are where they take it and press it and seal it down. So the other thing too is that it is bigger than the 10-liter dry bag that I own. So the width is the same, but this is longer, if you can see that. These are both matched up, and you've got a little bit extra length down here. So quick rundown of just some options for you. The EarthPak Dry Bag, it comes in, I think, 7 different colors. You know, bright orange, yellow, green. I like that there's bright colors because this stuff is made to be in and near the water. And if I were to have this fall off the side of my kayak, or, you know, oftentimes when you're going to dock yourself on next to the river to find a camp spot and you're unloading stuff, if this rolls off the side and floats down the river, for one, I want it to be completely waterproof and know whatever's in there is not going to get wet. It should float because it should retain some air. And then also, if it's bright colored like this, me or someone else is going to see it. So that's kind of the disadvantage to the darker colored or the camo. Not knocking any dry bags at all. I mean, I've got no no quarrels with the Pathfinder dry bags. They're absolutely amazing and have served their purpose well. But this is just another option. As of right now, these are $12.99 on Amazon. So compared to what I was seeing, the comparable Sea Line dry bag, it's their Baja 10-liter dry bag. Right now, it's listed at $17.95 and goes down to like $15 depending on your color options. So the measurements for this is it's 22 inches by 11.5 inches. So the Baja dry bag by Sea Line is 18 by 5 by 2. So you've got more room in here. So it's actually probably more than 10 liters. I'm just guessing they're giving you the extra room to get a little bit more bite whenever you roll it. It does have reinforced buckle loops. Like I said, the stitching's really well. The shoulder strap is adjustable, and this center seam is not going anywhere. It's pressed twice. You can feel where it's pressed on the inside here, and then you can feel it's pressed again here. So they overlap the material before they seam seal it. All right, so we're down here next to the creek, and as you can see, it's still pretty high. And what I had planned was to just tie this to a rope and throw it out in the creek and see how well it floats, and then bring it back in and see if the contents inside are dry. So as you can see, it stands out really well against foliage and stuff. It's really bright. What I have in here right now is just like three towels that you would use to shower. And whenever you go to roll these down, you got to leave room to give the seal. So you want to make sure, especially if you know you're going to be in water. Here comes an airplane, I apologize. That you want to leave some air in there. Like that. So I'm going to take off the shoulder strap. Let's see first if any air comes out. And there's not any. Okay. Roll it down again. Let's get it just as tight as we can get it. Because this is what I do with my other dry bags. You know, this is about as much as you're going to get in a 10 liter if you really want it to stay waterproof. So, some paracord here. This will also be a good test for the strength of the D-ring and the stitching. So both D-rings, and I just have a bowline knot tied down here on this end that I'll thread everything back through. All right, so this should translate. That's no fun. I got a knot in my rope. You
gotta do it again. Oh, there's some thorns. Whoops. Oh, it fell back in. Whoops. Just leave that in there. I have not opened up the contents yet. We're gonna do it again. It's floating. Give a disclaimer before I say this, but in an emergency, and I'm not a trained professional swiftwater rescue, but in an emergency, you can use this to throw out to somebody to grab a hold of, just because it floats and it's big. So we've actually done that to an elderly lady at the kayak shop once. All right, so the big question is, did everything inside stay dry? All right, let's open it up. No damage to any of the stitching or the rings. Everything's dry. It's a dry towel. It's a dry towel. And another dry towel. So, there's just a little bit of a learning curve to these things, especially if you've never used one before. You'll think that water's gotten inside, because whenever you unroll this, it'll seep down the sides. But you just have to know that this right here was in the water, and so the inside will be dry. It's completely dry in there, but it'll trickle down a little bit. Another thing that you can do with these, that some other people and students and all that I've seen at different classes and all that, they'll actually use this to hold their tinder. So they'll have, you know, their knife on their hip and a haversack or whatever with their kit, and then they'll use a shoulder strap and fill this thing up with tinder and then roll it down tight. It's just really handy to have these. This is I'm impressed with it. It's already dirty. It hadn't leaked through. All the towels inside were dry. So the only test that's left is just a durability test, and that's only gonna come about after using it. So I'll definitely be doing a follow-up video with this and let you know how it holds up over the time that I use it. But yeah, the EarthPak Dry Bag 10 liter. So check it out. I'll put a link to the Amazon, to where this is on Amazon, in the description. And thanks for watching, guys. And Scott, thank you for sending me this. It's definitely a nice bag. Have a good one.